This is the next form that follows the student history form. It is going to be called page 3 of the Accommodations Request Packet. So what it is asking you to do is to provide an authorization for other individuals to access your disability-related information. If you have friends or family or other trusted individuals who are your support and who are providing some guidance for you as you are studying as a college student, then this is where you will list them if they are those that you are okay with having access to your disability information. So as a student in college, your information is protected under a federal law called FERPA. And what that does is it protects your information to where now you as a college student are the only one who has control of what happens to that. You can decide who reads it, who sees it, and who doesn't when it comes to your family. So if you want them to be a part of the process and to be present for conversations about your disabilities and accommodations, then you need to list them here. So you start on this form by filling out your first and last name here, I, and your first and last name. Authorize the academic accommodations staff of the learning centers at Southwestern Assemblies of God University to release or discuss any pertinent medical, psychological, educational, or vocational information to the individuals listed below. And just it lists that it could be by phone, it could be electronically, by mail, or in person. The purpose of any disclosure will be assisting you in the pursuit of your educational goals. There will be no just hunting for information and things like that. And the disclosures of information are restricted to what is necessary and relevant. Whenever possible, you will be present as well when this is discussed. So they're not looking and deciding for you. You are still the center of this process and are still required to be the one who makes the final decisions about your academics. All right, so that's what's going on and what's happening. When you fill this form out, you need to either decide to use your current FERPA password, or My Privacy Password, it's also called, or you can create a second password that's just for disability documents and information, and you would need to list that here. If more than one password is just too much, many people usually just stick with the same password they have for their FERPA password already, but that's up to you. Once you filled out number 1, indicating which password that you want, then number 2 is where you're providing the full names of the individual or individuals that are permitted to access your information. You'll put in their legal first and last name individually here. So the first person, their first and last name, and how they're related to you: mother, father, aunt, uncle, aunt, cousin, you name it. So explain their relationship to you here, and do that for the additional people as well in these spaces. Once you've done that, then you will sign it and also type in your first and last name, and then the date that all this happened. So this document authorizes the individuals listed access to the student's disability information. Some things to keep in mind, though. To limit access to only the student, list your full name and self in the relationship box. Those permitted by this document to have access to disability information, those permitted to have access, must first be listed on your FERPA My Privacy list. So all of your other student information is protected by FERPA 2. You created a FERPA or My Privacy password in your My SAGU portal. The people you list on this document up here these people need to already be listed in your FERPA My Privacy section of your My SAGU portal. If they're not, then listing them here does not give them access. They first have to have been given access to FERPA overall for you. Okay? The FERPA password assigned to the authorized individuals named in this list will be used when discussing disabilities unless another password is specified on this document. The student is responsible to inform individuals of the appropriate passwords to gain access. Make sure that all the people that you list up here, that they actually know what your password is, if it's this one, or what your current FERPA password is. If they don't know what it is, even if they're listed here, they won't be given access to your disability information and won't be able to have a conversation with us about it. You can revise this document at any time by submitting another one in its place. Until you do, these things stand. Okay, so make sure that you provide the information that you need, or the information of those who you intend to have a part in the conversation about accommodations. That way, you'll be able to have the counsel present that you need as you're considering what to do for your academics. This is the first document, or this is the second form, the second document of the Accommodations Request Packet that will need to be filled out, signed, and turned in to the learning centers to start the accommodations request process.